All right, next game up, you're going to have Blackout versus Don't Sleep. Blackout's coming in to win off they beat Sharks, and Don't Sleep is coming off of a loss to them Getters. Blackout is trying to show teams that they can win on the road. Everybody figured that this team, just because they're playing BQFL and won a few championships in BQFL, that it's a home team. Well, they have an opportunity to change it, especially playing against a Don't Sleep team. Actually beat them in the BQFL championship. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not the same Don't Sleep team. This is more high and pedal to the metal team with Reem at quarterback. But at the end of the day, Blackout only sees Don't Sleep, team that beat them in the championship. So this is an opportunity for them to show what they can do. On the other side, Don't Sleep looked terrible against DG, couldn't even score. They have to find a way to show that they can survive in this division. But they got Blackout, who has a very, very great pass rush, led by Mike. The guy is a vicious pass rusher, similar to a Khalil Mack at the linebacker position. Yeah. He's a tough thing. And everybody, the one thing I can say is everybody's expecting Blackout to lose their cool. And so far, they've been pretty decent. You know, as long as Blackout can stay humble and not lose their cool, this team is not only a dangerous team, they're destined to get to a championship.
All of that is true, but this team has a lot of firepower. And they added to that this season with Brandon, who Alex has really been getting him the ball consistently. So that makes them even more dangerous when they were already dangerous as it is. So on Don't Sleep side, this team is too talented to be losing games the way that they did last week. This has to be the recovery game that they need to make, because that was embarrassing last week. I'm going to say it. It was embarrassing, and they know it. So at the end of the day, they have to come out, perform, and they have to work guns blazing, and it has to start with Reem on offense. This team has to come out firing on all cylinders if they want to really get the win that they need in this game.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game. After getting the first down, Alex is blitzed by Macho. Blocked by Kenny, Alex runs in the back for a decent game. That's going to take us to fourth down. Alex is going to throw it up on forward rush, incomplete, turnover on downs, and this is what Don't Sleep needs to do. Make stops. Alex pretty much didn't have anything in his drive. That is a great defensive stand by this Don't Sleep defense.
And the thing that's crazy about this is you see Kenny blocking for Alex. Rather than being the draft pick, the weapon, the two-way player that they need, he's blocking for Alex. Now, yes, it may help or whatever, but I would rather Kenny be a weapon on offense, and he's not that right now. Is that why that they got stopped? I'm not going to say that, but at the end of the day, it would help to have an extra weapon out there. Unfortunately, they didn't, and hence the turnover here.
Reem with two passes to Joel on the sideline for a decent game, getting to the 40-yard line. Fourth down, Reem throws deep to Khalil, who beats Kenny in the middle court for a huge gain and a first down at the 4-yard line. If you look here, Kenny's playing too close on the sideline, leaving the middle of the field wide open. A lot of people don't think Kenny should even have been drafted. I think that's disrespectful. I think the guy's a playmaker. I think he's being used the way Blackout needs him to be.
Yeah.
That's why. But this guy Khalil is deadly. He's the next upcoming thing. And if Kenny don't pay him attention, these type of big plays is going to happen. Third down, Reem throws a juju in the front of the end zone, off target, incomplete. Fourth and goal, Reem throws to Mike in the back of the end zone, low and picked off by Jay. Blackout with the huge stop in the red zone, forcing Don't Sleep to turn the ball over.
The thing about it is there's nothing wrong with this throw. This is a good decision. Mike was open in the back of the end zone. This was just not a good throw by Reem. He throws it too low, and Jay's able to snatch it for the interception. You got to make those throws. You got to be accurate when you got plays like this, especially when you're playing a team like Blackout, where you may not get that opportunity again. He was left, Mike is left open in the back of the end zone. Reem was not able to get him there and release the interception.
Third down after a passive ID. Alex is just blocked by Shaq. Alex throws it to Brandon, who beats Sherm on the sideline for a big gain and a first down. This play had a lot of layers, but Shaq is a blocker. Shaq told me personally he wants that blocker of the year award. This is how you get it. When you give your quarterback time like this, and especially the plays that Alex is going to make, which is why I call him Alex Mahomes. This is what's going to happen. And then he throws to a former UFL Offensive Player of the Year, Sherm on Brandon. Well, Brandon's going to come away with that play. Sherm is a good player, but Brandon's just a little better. He makes him pay for trying to guard him up. Alex takes a shot, and this is a huge game. Great pitch and catch by Alex Mahomes, finding Brandon. Second and goal, Alex finds Lucas in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0. Blackout takes the lead. It has to be that huge play by Alex. You're only going to slow this Blackout offense down only so long. Like I said, Alex reminds me so much of Patrick Mahomes because of his ability to make any throw and make the throws look like a magician. Great throw there. 6-0. Blackout. After getting the first down, Reem on 4 rush runs in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Reem is blitzed by Macho and sacked by AB. If you look here, Juju misses the block on Macho. AB is a beast, always balling. The guy brings constant pressure. He's going to help this Blackout team led by him, Macho, and Mike. That is some great defensive players on that line if you bring that pressure and they come over the huge side. Third down, Reem runs right on 4 rush and is tagged short for a short gain. Question was he tagged? What do you think?
That play, when I slow it down on this angle, this is a hard play to call, but it looked like that the defense got away with one. I think that Reem probably just made him miss on that play. But, you know, obviously we always say if we have to slow it down, it can go either way. That's a big play, but either way, the defense was able to force him to run. He wasn't able to make any passes on that play. So even if he was able to get a short gain, that's still a success on the defensive part right there.
Fourth down, Reem with blocking. Throws it up in the end zone. Caught in the back of the end zone by Khalil for the touchdown. Then Khalil gets the extra point. 7-6. Khalil's pretty much known as a defensive player. He's a top safety, and he's showing that he is an all-around player. And Reem shows he can go to him as an all-around player. That is a great score to help him take the lead.
And this should be showing that Reem has to find Khalil on the field a little bit more. If everything is working for Khalil, if Khalil is getting open, if Khalil is balling out, you keep giving him the ball. That's pretty much my opinion. And it's showing that on the field. Khalil is a baller, so you got to give him the ball. He's able to get by in the back of the end zone. Nobody's able to follow him there, and Reem is able to get him that throw. That was a much-needed touchdown towards the end of the half. I'm going towards the end of the half. They needed that. If they didn't, I believe that they would have been in trouble later on in the game. But Khalil coming out with a big play there.
Last play before the half, Alex throws it up. It's going to be short, picked off by Sherm, taking us into the half. 7-6, don't sleep.
I'm shocked that Blackout was held to 6 points in the first half. They have too much firepower to be held to only 6 points. Is it because of Don't Sleep's lockdown defense? I'm not trying to speak negatively about Don't Sleep defense, but I don't think that's it. It's Blackout not playing to their caliber. They're not there's like, besides Brandon making that big play on that drive to lead them to score by Lucas, other than that, I didn't really see nothing on this Blackout offense. I see Kenny blocking. I see everybody else not stepping up and making plays. I haven't seen pranks in this game. I haven't seen any of their other weapons out there. So at the end of the day, guys need to step up and make things happen, because to be stopped in the first half to 6 points is disappointing. That's embarrassing if you have the firepower that Blackout has. They held on defense, but I want to see them scoring more in the second half. They can't be satisfied with this first half.
If I'm Don't Sleep, I'm exactly where I expect me to be, because I beat this team in the championship and beat us up. We know this team. We know what they like to do. We know how they like to do it. And we just won EHS. So we feel good about ourselves, and we know we can be elite. So us holding them to 6 points in the first half, we'll take it. On the other side, we need Reem to score, because because Blackout has a high-powered offense. We need to score. Our defense did its job. We have to do ours, and we'll be fine. 7-6 first half is fine, but we can't expect 7 points to hold the whole game, because Blackout's definitely going to jump back into the game. Reem gets the ball, and with 3 short passes to Joel in the gap, he takes that for a decent game. 4th down to 40. Reem throws the Joel in the gap. With contact from Jigger, the pass is dropped. Turnover on downs. If you look here, Khalil's open on the sideline. Now, let me tell you something. Jigger's not a great block-up guy. Jigger is not really known for that, but this guy plays tackle. He's a physical guy. He don't got time to chase Joel around. I like the fact that he got him at the point of the attack because Joel's able to scramble and get a first down on his own. So because he's able to do this, that is a great play. But Khalil's open. And sometimes Reem has struggled with getting the ball to his receivers that's open. And he struggles here. I think Khalil was the better target there. Khalil's going to take a shot and go for it. No matter what happens, he gets stopped.
I mean, if you look, Joel got 3 passes on this drive alone. You have to branch out. Yes, he was able to get those 3 passes, but you got to find other receivers out there. Khalil is hot right now, but he's not able to find them on that drive and release a turnover.
Second out, Alex with blocker from Shaq runs up the sideline for a big gain to the 7-yard line. I told you, Alex Mahomes, he can do it with his feet. He can do it with his arm. Y'all better start respecting the name. Alex Mahomes. The guy plays just like Patrick Mahomes. You often go, Alex finds Meek open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 12-7, they score again. And if he's Alex Mahomes, right, then Meek has to be Kelsey. We see Meek is a tight end, but he has some wide receiver speed. And in the red zone, Alex is going to look for him. He did it last game, coming back to him this game, and they take the lead 12-7.
Can I ask a question? How many games did Blackout play this season?
This is their 2nd game.
Yes, and Meek already has 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, he is averaging more than a touchdown a game. So you know that Alex is eventually going to find Meek. He's one of the guys that I didn't mention earlier that they have to get in the game. But Meek shows that right when they need to, he's able to make a big play for the score. This is his home in the end zone, and Alex is able to find him here.
Second down, Reem on 4 rush. Those are Juju in the middle. Almost picked up by Macho. If you look here, Sherman draw open short. So when he got guys open, he's forcing. Reem is just all over the place right now. Third down, Reem on 4 rush. Runs in the middle for a decent game. 4th down, Reem throws a Khalil on the sideline who makes a catch over Jigger for a nice game and the first down. Feed this man. Get this man the ball. He is hungry. He's a playmaker, and he keeps the chains moving.
And like in that last drive, he covered a couple of chains moving there too. He was left open. For some reason, he's not seen on the field. Nobody's guarding him. So at the end of the day, you keep feeding what's working, and Khalil is that guy. We just got to find him on other parts of the field to keep this drive going, but it's looking good right now.
Reem on 4 rush. Runs in the gap. Jigger misses the tag, and Reem's run for a big gain at the 7-yard line. Listen, Deshaun Watson is who I think Reem plays as. He just has to be a little more consistent with his passes, but the dude is a baller. Great way to lose his legs there and get a big gain. Great play by him. 3rd and goal, Reem with blocker from Juju finds Khalil opening the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Macho and Jigger both on JO, leaving Khalil open. Juju gets the extra 2-point conversion. So right now, 15-12, Don't Sleep takes the lead.
And eventually Khalil was going to find the end zone again. For some reason, they figured that they didn't need to guard him, and that's a mistake that they had to pay for on this drive. Reem is finally able to find Khalil again in the end zone. If you don't guard him, he's going to score. That's exactly what happened. They didn't guard him all this drive or the last drive, and eventually Reem made him pay for it with Khalil getting the score here. Much needed touchdown. They're right back in this game.
First down, Alex with blocker from Shaq. Cozy to Frank's wide open downfield court for a huge gain at the 4-yard line. If you look here, Man is pointing him out, but he's the only safety in the backfield. If you look here, Man is pointing him out, but Man is the only one back there, so he's pretty much pointing him out to nobody. You said these other guys gotta get involved. Alex must have heard you because he's getting these other guys involved, and now we've seen Pranks makes a big play, great play getting to the 4-yard line. Alex then on 4 rush gets sacked by Maine. Big sack by Maine. trying to slow down this high power blackout offense. Second and goal, Alex finds Brandon in the front of the end zone. What a touchdown. If you look here, Sherm leads the sideline. Brandon left open. Prince gets the extra point. 19-15 with 1 minute left. Brandon scores a TD.
And that's a lack of communication right here. Because Sherm goes to lock up on someone in the man coverage, he leaves the sideline. All Brandon has to do is run right to where Sherm left, and he's left wide open. Right here in the goal line defense or whatnot, you're not supposed to. This is why you don't play man in the goal line. Because as soon as you leave a spot, guarding someone else, somebody's going to fill that spot, and they're able to find him for the touchdown here. And the worst person you can leave open is Brandon. Of course, Alex is going to throw him the ball. That's exactly what happens, and they get the lead right back.
People don't like this kid's attitude. They say he's cocky, they say he's obnoxious, but they can't say we can stop him. So it don't matter. You gotta stop him. You want to shut him up? Stop him. Stop him. Just stop the kid. You can't. So you're gonna continuously get to hear his mouth. You're gonna continuously get the wave because this kid can't be stopped. And with Alex Mahomes throwing him the football, whoa! What did Inspector Gadget just say? Wowzers! That's exactly what's going to happen. After getting the first down, Reem on 4 rush runs to the gap for a decent game. Second down, Reem is blitzed by Macho, who's picked up by Juju. Reem scrambles, throws to Juju in the middle, who pitches it to Joel for a short gain. A lot of time wasted. All that high power pitching catch, all for naught, because all they did was waste time for a few yards. Reem with blocking from Juju runs in the gap for a decent gain, getting to the 6-yard line. Last play of the game, Reem scrambles on 4 rush, throws to Khalil in the corner end zone, a caught out of bounds, end of the game. Blackout comes away with the win, 19-15 over Don't Sleep.
And what's crazy is Reem is able to find Kareem. Unfortunately, it's Khalil, but it's unfortunately out of bounds. At the end of the day, they were supposed to find more opportunities for Khalil because it seems like this blackout team was not finding ways to guard him. He was able to get open throughout the game. Reem did not find him enough, and I think because of that, they weren't able to come away with this win. Sometimes, if one guy's killing, you got to keep giving them the ball until they switch up and make a stop, or switch up their strategy, then find somebody else open. But it's a little bit too late, and that's why they came up short towards the end of the game. And unfortunately, this is another loss for Don't Sleep.
Let me get on Blackout first. First of all,
yeah,
this is a game you need to play if you're Blackout. This is a game they could have easily had lost. Easily. But they stuck together and they found a way to win the game. That's what makes this team dangerous. I think they got to get a little better. I think they gave up some plays and left some plays on the field. But at the end of the day, they came away when they had to. I think they made it a little too difficult in the first half, going 1 for 3. They got stopped and threw an interception. But in the second half, they scored 2 touchdowns. So this team is definitely where they want to be. They're 2-0. They just got to be a little more consistent. You can't let teams believe that they have an opportunity to beat you because those are the games you're going to lose. Now, on the other side, Don't Sleep. Last year, Don't Sleep was 8th in scoring. 8th.
Yeah.
And their efficiency was 22%. They scored 22% of the time. One of the lowest in the league. UFL is hard to score. So you would figure it's just to be average. You want it at least over 30, 40%. They scored 22%. KC had a terrible season last year. As I look at the stats, KC had 6 touchdowns last year, 8 interceptions. Shannon threw more with 9. They bring in Reem. Reem is supposed to be the upgrade. Well, Reem already has lost his first 2 games. First game, he got shut out. Second game, first half, he goes 1 of 2. Second half, he goes 1 of 3. He's not doing what they brought him here to do. Um, the difference is their defense. Last year, they were second in defense last year. They was second in defense points given up, but they were first in defense efficiency. You was only able to score 17% of the time versus them. They don't look like that team. And they also, last year, when I look at their numbers, last year they were first in sacks. They're not bringing that pressure defensively. But the main thing for me is offensively. Reem is not doing what they expect him to do. He's struggling. I think he played a little better this game, but at the end of the day, he has to get even better. They put a lot on his plate to expect him to help them turn it around, and he's not getting it done right now. He has to figure out a way. I know he's talked about breaking all these records. Stop worrying about the records.
Yeah.
Worry about getting wins. Your team's 0-2 right now. You know, last year, even though your KC had terrible numbers, there was at least at this time they were 1-2. It was 500. You're 0-2 in a harder division than it was last year. He has to get it together. Hopefully, we're supposed to have an interview with him. We'll see if we're able to get that. But at the end of the day, I don't think everything is going the way they expect it to. And they lose Benny. Benny leaves his team to go play with the Monarchs. Benny was an all-star last year. He was a spark plug. He was a great defensive player. And he leaves to go to the Monarchs. We heard they had a little inside turmoil with, you know, championship money or whatever, that they just won EHS. We don't know the whole word, so we're not going to really talk about it. But at the end of the day, this team is going down right now, and it's not what we expected them to be.
And they're too talented to go through this. Regardless of them losing Benny and all of this, they're too talented to be losing games like this. This was a close game. They had the lead until they gave up that last touchdown. So this could have went the other way. That last game against DG, that was a terrible game. This one was a winnable game that they just didn't get it done. So at the end of the day, they have a lot of improvements to make. They have to look internally to see what do they have to fix. Are we hungry enough to win in this league? We got to prove that now because they're not doing it. These last two games didn't prove it for me. I don't know if it proved it for you, but it sure as heck didn't prove it for me. So they got to show that. Right now, they're not. So at the end of the day, that's what they have to figure out. Are we hungry enough to win this championship? Are we hungry enough to win this money? Was the money that we won in the D1 league or whatever, is that enough? Is that what we satisfied with? If not, then they have to come out and play the next game, and they have to come out and fight for that win.
Only reason I'm not going to say I'm panicked is because they played two of the best teams in the division.
Yeah.
In Blackout and them Getters. So I give them that much. But
I'm saying,
Reem has to get better. And Maine, who likes to say his dogs, they got to find a way to make stops.
Yes.
Like I said, second half, Alex scored on both possessions. It's not a dog. You know what I mean? It's not a dog. They got to figure out a way to make that better. First game, Chuck threw the ball all over the lot. So they got to get better, especially defensively. The defense carried them. And they were supposed to carry them this season as Reem takes them to the promised land. But right now, Reem's struggling. And their defense doesn't look like they can stop a nosebleed. We're going to have to see what happens. We're going to wrap this game up with with Blackout winning this game over Don't Sleep 19-15. We'll be right back. All right, people. Welcome back. We said we was possibly going to have an interview with Don't Sleep starting quarterback. We got the treat. We got him here. Reem, we want to thank you for being with us on Real Tough Talk, brother. Thanks for being with us, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We're going to jump right into it. Before we ask about your performance, hearing little things from the inside, you know, from sources saying that Don't Sleep is having little inside problems. We've seen Benny leave and go play with the Monarchs. What's going on with that whole situation with the team?
That's a more so inside, inside in-house situation that wasn't handled properly, but we gonna overcome that, know our feelings towards Benny, but gotta move on from that.
Well, let's talk about the performance now. You were brought in to help bring more pedal to the middle of this team when KC pretty much retired. Don't Sleep last year was the 8th team in scoring. Only Rep City scored less points than them. You was brought in to be able to not only get the ball downfield, was to move the ball and be exciting with the ball. Well, I want to ask you this. I'm gonna give you some numbers. One thing you're gonna learn about the show, I'm all about numbers, man. Right now, in 2 games, you put up 15 points. That's a 7.5 average. So right now, in those 2 games, you average less than Don't Sleep scored their whole season last year. And then their first 2 games last year with KC throwing, they scored 21 points. They scored 8. That's an average of 14.5 points a game. So they average more with KC in 2 games than they did with you in 2 games. And KC went 1-1, and you went 0-2. Is the league a little too is more than what you expected it to be coming into it?
Uh, I don't make no excuses, but first 2 games, coming out, we never had our full team yet. In this league, it's big on blockers. First 2 games we didn't have no blockers, whole new roster. Losing Henry was big, but also losing a guy like Devin is also big. That started both ways. That was the heart of the defense. Then losing a Benny is we gotta adapt. You see what I'm saying? So not having any blockers those first 2 games is big. But like I always said, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So that 15 points that been up, that's cool. That's cool. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have your bad games, you're gonna have your great games. But like I said before, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So expect 10 times more from us from here on out.
All right. My thing is, Jay mentioned all the stats about y'all, not scoring the way that y'all should or whatnot. Not counting that last game because you already said that was your one terrible game against DG. But what adjustments do you feel you personally have to make in order to get your offense going the way that it needs to go? What do you feel like you need to do in the future?
Well, coming from EHS, I got a big arm. So, and I had big time receivers. So it's like I'm transitioning from a 4-down league to a 8-down league. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have a problem with taking those little check downs. So now I just gotta adjust. It's no biggie. That's like me coming from Brooklyn, coming from Expo, coming from Tony G, where it was a 3-second league to go into a 5-second league. So it's all about adjustments, honestly. It's no biggie. It's no, oh my God, Don't Sleep is gonna choke. We're coming off a EHS chip. So everybody expect a lot from us. Everybody expect 30 points, 40 points. Stuff is gonna happen. So I'm not worried about it. It's on me. You know what I'm saying? So I can admit that these 2 games was on me. It's gonna happen. But I'd rather take these 2 low-scoring games early in the season than go into the playoffs and choke. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to happen. But you're going to see a lot of adjustments from here on out starting on Saturday.
Now, you said you lost Devin. You lost Devin. You lost Penny. But your draft pick was Femi. I saw highlights with you and Femi. I haven't seen you do nothing with Femi. You said, you wasn't upset that Henry went right before y'all picked, and you said you'll take Femi. You're not worrying about it. We see Henry doing some things with the Monarchs right now. We haven't really seen Femi do anything. I seen the highlights that he did when he just won a chip. That's all great and fine. But he was drafted number 7 by you guys. And he has not done anything. You want to go back in your word and wish Henry was there in the draft for you to get him?
I would never go back on my word and downplay anybody.
Of course you're not.
Week one, like I said, no block is a major thing in this league. So Femi only played one game.
Right.
So last game he didn't play, so we can't sit here and say, oh, Femi hasn't done anything yet, honestly. But let's be realistic. No matter what team Henry goes to or whatever quarterback has Henry's going to produce no matter what. So it's not like, oh, my God, Henry's doing this, Henry's doing that. No matter what quarterback get Henry's going to produce. So I'm saying, so first game, couldn't get Femi the ball, no blocker, little bit more adjustments I had to make. So stuff is going to happen. I'm not worried about it at all. You see what Femi does, and you saw what he did in the Expo. So it's not like Femi. I know I hear a couple people like, oh, yeah, Femi gained a little weight. Femi did this. But you see what Femi did on the Mons thing. So expect that on Don't Sleep. So there's no real, I'm not worried about nothing at all, honestly. So
let's take the attention off of the offense and let's talk about the defense. Me like to call them the Wolves. I've been calling them the puppies. They're the puppies. First game, Chuck ran through that team. He ran through that defense. It was like it wasn't even there. I thought he was playing by himself. I thought there was none of y'all was on the field, and he was just playing in the school lot, throwing the ball around because that's how y'all defense looked. Then y'all came against Blackout, and y'all played well in the first half. First half, y'all had Alice go 1 for 3 in possessions. Second half, comes out and score right away. 2 easy touchdowns to win the game. We see Brandon smoke Sherm, a guy that y'all brought in to, be another cog in the defense. We didn't see it. We're not seeing anything from these Wolves that Maine are calling. What is going on with the defense? You did score the last game. You didn't score like you wanted to, but you scored. The defense couldn't seem to slow down Alex Mahomes and his blackout passing attack. What's going on with these Wolves?
Like I said, adjustments. It's adjustments. You lose last week, talking about starters is a whole new defense. So It's like no Devin, no Chris, no Benny. I said Devin already, no Henry. Yeah. So it's like, and no Femi there. So it's like everybody is getting used to people. It's a new communication going on. So if you paid attention to EHS, that's what happened at the beginning. Like it started off slow, then once everybody got to adapt, we figured out our starting defense, and after that, it was clicking after that. So I can't expect the defense to stop a team 10 times out of 10 when the offense is not putting up points 10 times out of 10. So it's like I got to work with them. They got to work with me. So both sides of the ball, team as a whole has been playing bad. So it's no about defense not holding up. There's no reason why I should have a team like I have and only put up 15 points. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't put that game on the defense. We had a drive to score, but 10 seconds left. We just didn't score. So at the end of the day, we score. We wouldn't be talking about the defense right now.
All right, I just got one more question. This is my last question. I know Jay got his question. I know
I got one more. Go ahead, yeah.
So my question is this. I don't know if he's gonna ask this question, but I'm gonna ask. Y'all 0-2 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all next game, let's just hypothetically say y'all lose the next game.
They play the defending champs. They play the defending champs.
Yeah. They play the defending champs, Rep City. If y'all happen to lose the next game, is it panic time for Don't Sleep?
No, 100% no, because 100% no, because at the end of the day, no team wants to see us. Nobody wants to see us when we have full force. If I'm not mistaken, I was doing my research. Wasn't Rep City the worst team in the league last year? They won a chip.
Yes.
So like like I said, nobody wants to see a team like us in the playoffs at all. So, the record doesn't matter. It matters, of course, eventually, but at the end of the day, Rep City proved that last season. But not saying that we're gonna lose any more games,
I was just
So I
about
just
to
feel
ask
like,
that. So see, I was just about to ask that.
nah, we not. I don't have my
Okay.
mindset is not like that. We came out week 1, we came out still celebrating about that little chip we won. Week 2, still like I said, a blocker plays a big major point. If you paid attention to the EHS, the first game with PME, we won that game, little money, the little bag game, no blocker. Every game you see me play with no blocker, you see the major difference. The playoffs, the last game of the season, if I'm not mistaken, we put up 30-plus points. We mercy a team in a chip with a blocker. So you see a major difference with a blocker and without a blocker. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a big difference, But at the end of the day, you need a blocker, especially when you have a blitzer. I don't know what type of quarterback that has a blitzer with no blocker, and you're gonna expect them to put up 30-plus points. But like I said, I'm expecting a Rob be there. I'm expecting a Gronk to fully be back. So I'm not worried at all. At all. We're
Well,
not panicking.
We're gonna get ready to wrap this up. But I love that you were able to go and preference Rep City winning a championship
Yeah.
off of not getting any regular season wins after you yourself is 0-2. I like that reference to bail yourself out and say, hey, listen, be okay. Rep City
Listen.
lost last year and they won a chip. I don't want to hear none of that. Because let me tell you something. That was done once. It's not going to be done again. And yes, you did smoke the team in the championship. Much love to y'all. Y'all did do that. Cannot take that away. There is no team in the Western Conference that you in that cannot beat Suicide Squad and do the same thing that you did.
No,
So
100%.
we're not gonna sit down and say what you did. At the end of the
But
day, I know right now the team is 0-2. I know you
what
talking
team-
about breaking the record.
what team did Don't Sleep beat before Suicide Squad that they had to call the game?
I don't remember, but you did. I'm not listen. I'm not taking nothing away.
No. I know. But I'm not.
Just saying.
I'm talking about playoffs in general. But I hear what you're trying to say.
I'm just saying. At the end of the day, I saw you a confident quarterback
I'm
saying
confident.
that you can't wait to have a shot at these records that you saw, and right now you have 2 touchdowns in 2 games.
All right.
Records are kind of far away right now, but we're gonna see what you can do. I love the confidence. I hope your team can meet you at least halfway, especially the puppies. I mean the Wolves on defense. I'm sorry, didn't mean to say that. It slipped out a little bit. My fault. No shots. We're gonna thank my man Reem for being here. Listen, you gotta get a man love at the end of the
Seriously,
day.
definitely.
I call him Deshaun Watson. He got the Deshaun Watson smile. Let's hope he can win the game Deshaun Watson has. Because right now, 0-2 in this division, that'll get you a tough playoff matchup. So they got to turn it around now, and they get to try it against the defending UFL champs, another team desperate 0-2. It's a big game for both teams. Reem, thanks, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. I'll see y'all Saturday.
All right, man. Thank you, man. All right, next and last game up is going to be UTF versus Never Scared. UTF is coming off of a win to Braulio, and Never Scared is coming off of a loss to Grind Time. Who needs this game more?
I believe Never Scared definitely needs this game more because they had a close loss to Grind Time, a winnable game. The direction that they're going, they have to show that they're a team that can compete. Last season, they weren't able to catch anything. The last couple seasons I've been really disappointed to watch when it was in terms of watching Never Scared. So they have to show that they're a team that can compete again. They used to be that many years ago. They haven't been that the last few years. So they have to show that with the pickups that they made with Travis, with Dave Legree, with Chris, that they're going to be a factor in this league. With Tiki, they're going to be a factor in this league. 3 of the 4 of those guys are going to be on this field. So those guys have to show up and come and perform. You know, I have hope for Never Scared, but they got to give me hope that they're going to be able to play to that caliber that I believe that they can play. That's just how I feel right now about that team.
I think this game is more important to UCF. I don't think it's that important to Never Scared because they're still getting to know each other. And I think they got the firepower to beat any team. When you got the #1 pick in Travis, and you have one of the best tight ends in the game at David Green, this team can beat anybody. Just those 2 guys offensively. I think UCF needs to keep winning because I think they got tough teams in their division as far as Raiders, as far as Monarchs, and UCF is trying to get a first-round bye. So I think that it's more important to them, especially on the way Jeremy has been playing. You wanted to make it a little more distance for them to sit down and say, we're going to shut down Corey for the rest of the season and go with Jeremy. I don't think they came to that conclusion yet.
Yeah.
That's why I think, this game is big at UCF. So we're going to jump right into the game with Jeremy getting to start again, his 3rd start in the season. Jeremy's going to roll left on 4 rush. Throws to Randy on the sideline for a decent game. After getting the 1st down, Jeremy on 4 rush is sacked by Jordan. If you look here, G and Jeremy not on the same page. For Jeremy to have one of the best lines in the game, the dude has been constantly pressured, constantly sacked. That is an issue that they still haven't figured out yet. Jeremy's get sacked.
Right now, with all the guys that they have on the blocker position, they remind me of the Dallas offensive line. If you put them all in the line, they would resemble the 90s Dallas Cowboys offensive line. Remember that line that was able to protect Troy Aikman and get them a few, how many? I believe 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. Am I right? 3 or 4.
Yeah.
They look like that. The UTF, if you look at that on paper, you would say that that's the line that they have. That's not the line that they have in practice. How many sacks did Jeremy have? I believe he's gotten sacked 4 times in the last 3 games. So at the end of the day, there's no reason for Jeremy, like I keep saying, to be running and getting sacked when you have 3 former blockers of the year on the same team. That doesn't make any sense to me. But you're still getting sacked, and it's because these guys are not on the same page as Jeremy, and they still have leagues to go to work it out.
Second out, Jeremy's blitzed by Nas. Jeremy dodges the tag and runs down the sideline for a short gain. Another just missed sack. Walk down, Jeremy blocking from G. Throws a Mamba open in the front of the end zone. Another touchdown. If you look here, Kamar at the corner lets him go and nobody slides to pick him up. 6-0 UTF. First of all, Jeremy's having a great season. Mamba is another part of that. They had a great connection in EHS and they still got it going in UFL. Somebody better learn to stop this Mamba. Just like a Kobe Bryant, this kid is a killer and he's been killing since the summer and he keeps it going. 6-0 UTF. After getting the 1st down, Fred throws deep to Travis on the sideline. Travis catches it over 2 defenders and runs it into end zone for the touchdown. And like I love to say, are you serious? This is why they drafted him #1. This is why he's a #1 pick. These was drops last year for Never Scared. Different team, different staff, different results. 6-0. And
see, you took the words from my mouth. That is a #1 draft pick play, if I've ever seen one. Those are plays that you need. First of all, if you look at this play early, Travis was wide open anyway. So by the time the guys got to him, he was already making the catch. So if this throw wasn't underthrown, they would have had no shot of getting there for Travis to make that catch anyway. So at the end of the day, as soon as Fred threw it, this was already a touchdown. The defense just didn't know it yet.
Jeremy with 2 passes to Josh in the gap for a decent game, picking up the 1st down. 3rd down after 2 incomplete passes. Jeremy is blitzed by Rara. Blocked by G. Jeremy throws to Mamba in the gap for a decent gain. If you look here, Jordan was trying to break down the play and just misses Jeremy with the tag. More pressure on Jeremy, but he's able to make the miss. 4th down, Jeremy on 4 rush finds Ricky in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Chris gets caught guarding the back, and it's 12-6. UCF scores again.
Jeremy, full rush, he gets to throw off. It doesn't matter because that's enough time for Jeremy to roll out, extends his own time, even with or without blockers, and he's able to find his receiver, Ricky, for the score. It doesn't matter who it is, Jeremy's able to find them and put points on the board. That's his second touchdown of the day on his second time being on the field. This man is on fire, and it's the defense of Never Scared has to step up and make a stop because right now Jeremy's doing whatever he wants out there.
Second down, Fred is blitzed by Kaka and blocked by Ricky. Fred throws deep to Chris in the gap. Short, almost picked off by Los. Los dropped the pick. They wanted this interception. They said this should have been a catch. What do you think of the play?
I think that as he landed, the ball already hit the ground, so this was not a catch. It didn't show that he had control of the ball. That's unfortunate because that was a huge play that would have made it, that could make a difference on the other side. But if you look here, as soon as he lands on the ground, the ball is already on the ground, so that was not ruled a catch. It's unfortunate for him because that was a good defensive play.
Great call by the officials. They seen what they do. Jerk, however you want to say. Great call by the officials. But what we usually say happen when the defense drops a pick?
You give up a big play.
Well, third down, Fred throws deep to Chris, open in the gap, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, both safeties step up, leaving Chris open. Travis gets the extra point. 13-12, Never Scared takes the lead.
Anything that baffles me is you just saw him try to take a shot downfield the last play. And now your safety decide, you know what? He's not going to do it again. Let's all step up and leave the backfield wide open. But what happens? Chris is left wide open downfield for the score. Fred is a person that's going to take those shots. He's been known all through his career as one of the guys that takes shots like that. So why would you bring the safeties in? That's the worst thing you can do with a quarterback like Fred, and he's able to find Chris wide open for the score again.
After getting the first down, Jeremy is blitzed by Will, who runs into Jordan and Giver. Jeremy throws to Ricky in the middle for a decent gain. The middle is left wide open, and Jeremy attacks it. Third down, Jeremy finds Randy cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, nobody's talking, and Randy is left open. Black gets the extra point. 20-13, UTF scores again.
And somebody needs to be on Randy on every play that he's on the field.
Yep.
Before Mamba, before any of these guys that's on the field, Randy is Jeremy's main target out there. That's how it's been the last 3 games they played. So somebody has to be on him at all times. I don't care who it is. Somebody needs to be on Randy because right now, if you look, he is left unguarded and Jeremy's able to find him way too easy for yet another score on his third possession.
Fred throws to Dave in the gap for a decent game. Another guy that came over in the draft, meaning they drafted Travis and they brought Dave over with him. Dave is a great target, great throw, pitch and catch right there. Fred, with blocking from Ricky, throws to Travis in the gap. Hits by Kaka. With the block by Chris, Travis dives into the end zone for the touchdown. 20-19, they jump back in the game. The question is, was Travis tagged by Kaka? What do you think?
And looking at this play, at the angle that I'm looking at it, it looked like as Kaka went up for the play, it could look like he went for the ball, and that's probably why the ref didn't give him the tag, because it happened simultaneously. A lot of times the tag probably happened before the catch was made. Again, it's hard for me to see. I'm slowing it down, and because Kaka is behind, it's hard to see if he made the tag before or after the catch was made. So this is a hard call because, again, these tags happen frame by frame sometimes. So when you have to slow it down, it could go either way. But at the end of the day, Travis was left wide open on the sideline. And because of that, you give an opportunity for a play to be given like that in the first place. Travis is the last person who should be allowed to be left open on the sideline. So Kaka has to get closer on the side. Nobody was there. Nope. So by the time Kaka reacts, Travis is already with the ball, making moves. So somebody got to, again, I said the same thing about Randy on the last drive with UTF, but Travis is the guy on this side that somebody has to be spying where this man is. It seems like they're giving him too much space, and that's why they gave it the touchdown here.
UTF can't score before the half, and we're going to go into the half with UTF up 20-19 over Never Scared.
Listen, I've been speaking about UTF being in trouble, about Jeremy running for his life. That's what I said in the last couple games. And yes, he got sacked early in this game, but Jeremy found a way to get past all of that and find his receivers to score. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Whatever defense that this never scared team is playing, they cannot stop Jeremy in this offense. He's doing whatever he wants to. He found 3 different receivers he was able to find in this game. Ricky, Mamba, and here with Randy. So he's spreading the ball, finding everybody he can. The defense on UTF has to step up, but right now, I think the offense is, carrying the load and keeping them in front. It's a close game, but they need to keep up the momentum in the second.
First of all, this is the best I've seen Never Scared's offense look. And that's because they got their number 1 pick, and he brought Dave with him, and they have other weapons.
Mm-hmm.
You see what Fred can do with weapons when people thought that Fred was washed up. Man has just thrown 3 touchdowns in the first half. He scored 3 times on 3 possessions. I want to be that type of washed up. One of the issues last year was they dropped a lot of passes. You don't really see that this season. They're catching the ball. You know what's the other issue this team had? They were number 7th in defense. At the 7, it was 7 in defenses. Only 99 and Rep City gave up more points. Yeah. Well, right now, Jeremy scored 3 out of 4 possessions. And the last one, it counts as a stop, but it was no time left.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of why, I didn't mention it. Yeah.
Right. So their defense is showing a lacking. Again, they got 2 coaches. They have Ed. They have Tiki. And they have their on-field coach as Ricky. But at the end of the day, all of them 3 equals none because they gave up 3 touchdowns by 3 different receivers.
Yes.
If you can't stop, you can't win. They got to figure a way to make stops because the offensive problems they had last year is no longer here. Last year, their offense was 5th in scoring. Even though they dropped the ball a lot, they were 5th in scoring. So it wasn't the offense, it's the defense. We're going to jump right into the second half. Second half, Fred with Blackout from Ricky Tosi, Chris cutting in the front of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. I guess they're going back to the old ways. After getting the first down, Fred with Blackout from Ricky Tosi, the Travis in the gap, knocked away by Los. Third down, Fred is blitzed by Puto. Goes deep to Dave, picked off by Randy, but holding by Puto brings the play back. But these are deep bombs that Fred keep taking. Was this a hold? Tell me that first.
I believe that this was a hold by Puto. He gets caught at the last second as the rush is coming in. This could have been a big defensive play, but because Puto is flagged right here, it brings it all the way back. This is a missed opportunity here, all because Puto ends up holding as he's trying to rush in and make a play.
Fred on 4 rush throws to Travis in the gap for a decent game. Puto rushes in, keeping Travis open, and Fred finds him. 4th down, Fred throws the ball. It's tipped by Black, or caught by Chris in the end zone for the touchdown. And he's going to intercept the extra point. But right now, it is 25-20. Never Scared takes the lead.
And Chris has another touchdown, this time being in the right place at the right time. That's not a bad play by Black tipping the pass. But the unfortunate thing is, when you make tips like that, it still gives the offense an opportunity to catch the ball. Unfortunately for them, Chris was there to make that catch and save the drive to get yet another score in this game for Never Scared.
After getting the first down, Jeremy runs on 4 rush in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Jeremy on 4 rush throws a dab in the gap who gets to the 7-yard line. If you look here, Kamal never steps up to pick him up and leaves Deb open. Third and goal, Jeremy throws the dab cutting in the front of the end zone. Tipped by Deb, then by Kamal, picked off by Chris, who runs it all the way down the sideline for the touchdown. Dave gets the extra point. It is 32-20, Never Scared with the pick 6.
And the funny thing is, a drop pass on the opposing side is what gets them 6 points. Usually it's Never Scared dropping these passes, but unfortunately right now for UTF, It's them dropping a big play, and Chris is able to be at the right place at the right time. Yet again, this time for an interception that's run back for the score, giving them a 12-point lead off of tips. One on offense, one on defense now. So this is just them trying to make Chris making 2 big plays in the last 2 drives, getting them a 2-touchdown lead.
On a free play, Jeremy runs in the middle for a nice gain and a first down. The defense tries to force a first down, but Jeremy with the great run getting him a lot of yards. During another free play on 3rd down, Jeremy rolls left, throws to Randy. It's picked off by Chris, but the offsides on the defense gives them a replay of the downs. I think them rushing off sides to try to make them make plays is not football. Just play football and make the plays. I think they're outsmarting themselves. During another free play, Jeremy finds Randy open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, 2 people blitz, the play is declined. Mama gets an extra point, which is a lot of things happening. 32-27, UTF is crawling back in the game.
Now, some flags, I see what they were doing, but I think that trying to do so much to try to trick the opposing team, to try to manipulate the game here and there. Now your defense doesn't even know what's going on. Now you have 2 people blitzing. That's a lack of communication. How can you be sure about forcing penalties but not showing who's blitzing the ball? This is the key to this defensive drive. You make a proper decision on the blitz here, it could have went the other way, but because they give up a free play on the flag, that gives Jeremy the bravery to take a shot to Randy, and Randy's left wide open in the end zone for the touchdown. This is not something that the Never Scared team needed. They were up 2 scores, and now it gives UTF a fighting shot in this game.
Well, they could pretty much put the game away now. I believe UTF only has 2 timeouts. Let's see what happens. We're going to get to a 2nd down. Fred throws to Travis in the gap, cutting in the gap with 2 defenders there. The ball is dropped, which saves UTF a chance to call a timeout. And Ricky is so frustrated that Fred threw the ball, but you know what he did? He curses. 15-yard penalty, pushing Never Scared back. Tell me about the play.
At this point, like you just said, all they got to do is run the ball, run the clock, keep this offense off the field, keep the UTF offense off the field, and it's game over. Pretty much all you have to do is take your time and then seal the game with getting the first down. That's all they need. That's all they need. And Fred takes a shot. I don't know why. I don't know if I would have got a flag for cursing on the field, but Ricky certainly did. You can see him right here fuming because this was a dumb decision by Fred, and this could cost them later on in this drive.
3rd down, Fred with blocker from Ricky and Dave is still sacked by Jeremy as Fred runs into the sack. Never Scared has to punt. This is all Jeremy, all heart. The guy is only allowed to play ball giver on defense because he wasn't drafted as an 8th grade. So he's a quarterback. So similar to Shannon, Akon, he can only give him the ball. Well, he takes that position seriously, and he goes up against 2 of Never Scared's biggest guys, if not 2 of the biggest guys in the league. And he gets bounced around, but he doesn't give up, and he comes away with a huge sack, causing Never Scared to have to punt the football. Great play by him there. That's all Jeremy all the time.
And the thing about it is, I would say, yes, Jeremy gets some credit, but I disagree with you on that it being all Jeremy. This was not all Jeremy. This is all Fred. If you look at this play, Fred is on the right side of the field. You have Ricky blocking midfield, blocking Jeremy. You have Dave waiting on the other side, waiting for Jeremy to come in so he can block him also. All Fred has to do is stand behind Dave. That's all he has to do. But what he does, he rolls to the left, right into Jeremy as Jeremy rushes in. They're literally pushing him to the left, but then Fred runs to the left? That doesn't make any sense. And because it doesn't, Fred runs right into the sack, right into the play. Jeremy's able to make one and force them to punt here. This was a kill. Fred himself killed this whole drive for Never Scared, and this gives UTF an opportunity to take a shot in this game.
Well, second down with Blackout from G. Jeremy throws the Mamba on the sideline for a nice game, picking the first down. Third down, Jeremy throws deep to Mamba, who just gets by Chris at the back of the corner end zone, caught inbounds for the touchdown, giving UTF the lead. 33-32. Great play, and you got to put this on the defense.
Yes.
Mamba is Jeremy's favorite receiver. That's his go-to guy. You just see him go to him as he gets out of bounds. Chris does not see him behind him. Why do you let him get behind him? I don't know. Jeremy throws a monster dime, and if this is not on Dawn's dimes, me, you, and Dawn have to fight. We have to fight.
Listen,
Are
I
you
just gotta
serious?
say, I just gotta say this. That was probably one of the best throws I've seen this season so far, and I'm gonna explain why. If you look at Mamba's route, you see him one-on-one with Chris. Chris is there, but right before Mamba, he cuts inside, but right before Mamba cuts out, Jeremy's already throwing the ball. So this was a timed route. Jeremy puts the ball right where Mamba has to be there. That is communication. That is them being on the same wavelength, because Jeremy knew to make this throw before Mamba's able to make the cut, and Mamba, right after the throw is made, cuts right to the right part of the field to make this catch. This was a terrific play, a terrific throw. I'm not going to kill Chris. I'm not going to say that this is great defense, but this was a better throw and a better catch all around. Probably one of the best plays I've seen this season so far.
Never Scared gets the ball. We're going to go to third down after two short plays with 7 seconds left. Fred throws to Dave in the middle, knocked away by Kaka. End of the game. UTF comes away with the win to stay undefeated, 33-32.
At the end of the day, they scored 5 touchdowns on 7 possessions. One we don't really count because it was towards the end of the half. But that just shows that Jeremy picked apart this defense. This defense was practically non-existent. Jeremy was able to do whatever he wanted. With all the problems with him getting put under pressure, with some of the blockers not being in the right position, they were able to get through all of that and make some impressive throws, getting all of these different receivers scoring in the end zone. Jeremy was spreading the field around, spreading the ball around, taking shots, making accurate throws. He did whatever he wanted to. It was like they were playing a scrimmage game and they weren't facing the defense. You might as well say that, because he was able to do everything that he chose to do, and that's why the score ended 32-22 with them getting this win.
We got an interview with Jeremy, and we got an interview with Jeremy and Mamba, and then we got an interview with Tiki and Ed. So we got Jeremy, starting quarterback at UTF, and his wide receiver Mamba, and we got the two coaches of Never Scared, Tiki and Ed, and we'll be right back after.
Ready?
Hair and makeup.
Ready?
Hair and makeup.
All right, go.
What's going on? Stephen J here with Jeremy, starting quarterback at UTF. Came away with a big win, practically walk-off, 33-32. 5 touchdown passes.
Today?
Yes, today. You ran a lot. How was you able to stay in the zone?
I ain't gonna lie, they put a lot of pressure on me. They put a lot of pressure on me and made me stay in the zone. So I got to give it up to the other team today.
How was you able to bounce back after the pick 6? Everybody think after the pick 6, you put your head down. Y'all was practically down, I believe, 13 with like 3 minutes in the game, and you was able to come back. How was y'all able to stay focused and make that comeback?
I got a sack! They can't block me. That was almost 600 pounds back there.
The whole thing going on, do you feel, what's your opinion? Should UTF deactivate Corey and make you their A player for this season? What do you think personally? The way you play offense, the way you play ball giver, what do you think? Should they make that move?
You got to talk to Corey first. If Corey come, I'll gladly step down.
Yeah.
I don't care what type of player I am.
That team is undefeated. Yeah. Everybody was talking about UTF is dismantled, they can't play, they don't know what they're doing, and y'all are undefeated right now. What does that say about y'all?
Let me
That's what it says.
let me tell you. Let me say something real quick. First week, we won 8-6, 8-7, 8-7. Next week, I came out here. I threw 3 TDs. One was a bat down. It's all about progression and growing to the next day. It's not nothing about, oh, can you keep up here at 5 TDs? Can you throw 6 TDs? Can you score every drive? No, it's about growing. You might come out here one week and lose. Next week, you just got to do what you didn't do last week. It's all about growth.
Last question. You have been killing with Mamba since EHS, and now you brought it into the UFL. What is going on with you and his chemistry?
We got nothing. We from Africa. I got animals. And it's Malama! Malama! No goat, it's a llama. A llama is better than a goat.
Mamba, tell me about that bomb. Did you know he was going to come to you on that play? And tell me what you saw when you was coming down. How was you able to keep your feet in?
I ain't gonna lie, he called it. He's like, yo, run up hard post, late corner. Hard post, late corner, right? When I broke the post, I seen it already. And I'm like, there we go, here we go. I knew I was gonna get it. I ain't gonna lie, I was just keeping my foot down.
Last question. How much fun are you having playing with this team, both of y'all?
A lot of fun.
Hella fun.
I always have fun with it, though, on any team, so.
Football is a game.
Yeah.
You can't take it personal.
We're going to thank UTF for being here. Look at the whole crew right here. Everybody was talking about this team, and they're undefeated right now. Got to show them love. We're going to see you on the site. All right, fellas. See you later. What's going on? Stephen J. here with the coaches of Never Scared, coming over with a loss, 33-32. Tiki, my question is, how do your team lose up 2 touchdowns with about 4 minutes to go in the game?
Lack of communication, but I'm going to take that. I didn't put them in the best situation that they should have been in. Little key things here and there that we could fix that I didn't prepare them for it. It was 3:50. We was up 12. We got to win that game. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left, up 12. We got to win that game.
Jeremy was able to score. He threw 5 touchdown passes against y'all. I would think that you are an offensive or really a defensive-minded guy. What does that say about your guys, especially in that secondary, that Jeremy was able to move the ball all over the field?
Well, we got people. I'm still learning everybody. And we got people in different positions trying to figure out what's the best position for them. Right now, I think we fixing it. We gave up 31 last week, 33 this week. That's not good. That's 32 points a game. I take that. I'm going to take that on me. We'll fix it.
And let's talk about the offense. One thing we've seen your team do for the last 2 years is drop key passes. Y'all caught them today, led by your #1 draft pick, Travis. Tell me what he brought to the team, which is the reason why you drafted him.
I mean, he brings energy that spills on to everybody else. Everybody wants to play alongside him. And he's making plays, everybody else making plays, but we just have to continue on doing what we have to do, take it one play at a time.
Fred pretty much did well through no interceptions, threw an interception on extra point, but you don't really count that. Tell me how impressed with you with Fred's play today.
I mean, Fred has been doing good, but, you know, Fred has a new bunch of toys. You got to get used to them, and he'll prevail.
Tiki, last question. How is the next game a must-win game, being that y'all 0-2 in a tough division?
There's no such thing as a must-win game for regular season. Everybody makes playoffs. So, no, it's not. We're using this since we can't practice. We're using these regular season games as part of practice. And as far as Fred goes, Fred going to be all right. Fred just has to get out of his old tendencies, and that's why I'm here. That's why Ed brought me here. That gunslinger mentality of his, I'm trying to maintain it, trying to slow it down, but he's a veteran. He got to know what he's doing. We'll fix it, though. Everything will be fixed.
All right, we're going to thank these Never Scared for talking to us, Tiki and Ed. Heartbreaking loss, 33-32 to UTF. We're going to see our guys on the site.
We're going to thank the guys for being there with us. Thanks for the time. First, I'm going to talk about UTF, then I'll wrap it up with Never Scared. Jeremy's the hottest quarterback in football in any league.
He's playing it right now, yep.
He did it in the EHS, and now it's spilling over to UFL. First game of the season, the kid did not even score. But he did what he had to do, and they won that game. And now they won. They beat Braulio, and now they beat Never Scared. This team is hot, and the question goes, how long do you have him on the line? When do you shut Corey down for the season and make Jeremy your exclusive A player, and then you can use him on defense? Now, that may be a curse, but You never know. Are you really gonna bench Jeremy if Corey comes back? The big question.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you worry about that when it comes, but that's something you got to be thinking about. It's funny that Mike moved all the way up to the third pick and he had Jeremy there.
Yeah.
He could have got Jeremy as his quarterback and drafted an A player. Can you imagine if Jeremy would have had Prince Mo? Can you imagine if Jeremy would have had Pablo? Can you imagine if Jeremy would have had Rico? He could have got Jeremy as his starting quarterback and just drafted an A player. But don't get me wrong. Corey's an all-time touchdown, complete touchdowns in one season, 26.
Yeah.
He had I think 23 passing and 3 rushing. You're not going to take away from an MVP, but if he comes back and plays on the same level as Jeremy, is that a loss by you? Did you lose a spot? So you got to ask yourself. Now, UTF defense have to get better. They have to get better. They did everything he wanted to against them. But at the end of the day, last year, hold on, they wasn't really known as a high defensive team. They were 5th in defense. They were 8th in efficiency. So even though they gave up the 5th most points in the league, they allowed teams to score 43% of the time. So it seems like when teams did score, they scored often. So, 43, the only team that gave up the highest, higher than that was Rep City. So you got to get better on that side. But as far as this offense, Jeremy's killing it. Now, on Never Scared, yes, if you want to blame Fred for the loss, I can't go crazy. I can say fine. You know what? Who I blame for the loss? You know what you got? Who you got to blame? Coaching. I blame coaching. Never Scared scored 3 touchdowns in the first half. UTF scored 3 touchdowns in the first half. Never Scared scored 1 touchdown in the second half and had a pick 6 in the second half. But UTF scored another 2 touchdowns in the second half. UTF came back down 12, I think, with 3 minutes, 4 to 3 minutes in the game. I think it was 4 minutes in the game. That's coaching. Coaching let you down. Not your quarterback, not your defense, not your offense, the coaches. The coaches lost this game. First of all, Fred gets the first down and end the game. That's coaching. Coaching has to know. This defense did not stop Jeremy. I'm not going to count that 1 stop because he didn't have any time. Jeremy threw a pick 6 where he made a bad read. That's the only time the defense stopped him. Other than that, Jeremy put up 5 touchdowns. That's defense. This team was so worried about getting Travis as the #1 pick that they didn't improve a defense that I already said was 7th last year. They got to get better. They're in a tough division, 0-2. They have to get better. This was a shame by this defense. This was a shame that the offense got so. And I'm not going to put this on the offense. This is the defense, and it's not solely on the defense. It's the coaching. The coaching lost this game because you cannot let a team come back after they threw a pick 6. They score another 2 touchdowns and come back, and not only come back in the game, they beat you in the game, and they went to the #1 receiver that everybody knows Jeremy loves. Again, coaching.
At the end of the day, like you mentioned before about Travis being the one that has to prove himself, and he's the one that's the crucial point of he's the most important player.
And you said Fred, and you said Fred. I said Travis, you said Fred, but we never said coaching.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So at the end of the day, we mentioned one player, I mentioned one player, you mentioned the other. But the elephant in the room is the defense and the coaching. That's the problem, and that never improved. Can we both say that we expected Travis by himself to improve that defense? He's only one guy, so he's gonna guard people on the right and the left side of the field by himself. I don't see it happening.
He's the #1 pick. He's the
Huh?
number one pick. He's the number one
Yes,
pick.
but
He
the
got to
number
figure
one
that out.
pick, the number one pick
He got to
is,
figure that out. He's the number
I got you. So he has to step up and take charge of the defense by himself. He has to make those calls. But was he ever that guy to make the call on defense? Was he ever the guy to come up with defensive strategy by himself? I don't think so. It didn't seem so.
He did it on
fit the-
AFC. He did it on
Mhm.
Super Friends. I think he can. I think this game was the coaching. And you can even see on Tiki and Ed's interview.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear none of that. Tiki, oh, it's on me. I don't want to hear none of that. You gave up a game.
Yeah.
That's what you did. So when it comes down and the playoff matchups come and you have to play a blackout on one of those teams in the first round because you gave up a win against a team where you were up 2 scores, let's remember the interview. It's on me. This guy is too talented to do this, but his coaching comes into question. I don't give a damn if you sit down and say, I got to get to know these guys. Football's football. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
You need one hand and one hand, 2 hands, wash your face. So it's easy. You allow the team to come back. You didn't make any adjustments, and you, Ed, and you, Tiki, lost this game. We're going to wrap the show up. We're going to thank y'all for being with us. UTF with the win over Never Scared, 33-22. We hope y'all guys like what's going on in the season so far. We've been having a good time. Hopefully, I can get back into the studio. I'm trying to be in the studio this week. Get back with goals because it's easier when I'm closer because then I can really strangle goals like this. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully
He'll try.
we get y'all,
He'll try.
hopefully we get y'all some Dawn's Dime this week. She's ready. Shouts out to everybody. We appreciate y'all guys. Have a lovely and blessed Halloween. We're going to talk to y'all guys later. On behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J, my partner host. We're going to see y'all next week on another episode of Real Tough Talk. We out here.